Since taking over the program, Coach Olson has achieved 20 or more wins in 8 of his 9 seasons. His teams have won 4 regional championships, 2 conference championships, 1 sectional championship, and had an elite appearance. Coach Olson has been selected as the IBCA District 4 Coach of the Year 4 times. He has helped develop 25 players who have gone on to compete collegiately. 2 years ago, he became the all-time winningest basketball coach at Niles North. Accompanied today by his wife Amy and sons Grant and Reed, let's all give it up and hear it for Glenn Olson.
There we go, Coach Olson, coach of the basketball team. He has just been inducted to the Niles North Valley.
Our second Wall of Honor recipient is Coach Ron Zagorski. Coach Zagorski has been a part of the Niles North baseball program for 23 years and counting. During that time, Coach Zagorski has mentored countless young men and developed them to be college athletes and better human beings. Coach Zagorski was also an integral part of the baseball feeder program here in the Skokie community. In addition to coaching, Coach Zagorski has been a statistician for the football team for over 24 years and filled in on other athletic duties such as scorekeeper and announcer. Coach Zagorski won a state championship in 1969 and was inducted into the Illinois High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Recently, Coach Zagorski founded the Donna Zagorski Memorial Scholarship, which awards a college scholarship to 1 Niles North baseball player each year. He is accompanied by his son Mike and Greg, daughter-in-law Annalisa, and grandkids Robert and Kalani. Let's give it up for Coach Ron Zagorski. Fans, we'd like to ask you to stand as we will now have the national anthem. Please remove your hats. Face the north end of the zone where the flag flies for the national anthem. Stadium, home of the Vikings and the fastest show on turf. The Purple Rain defense and your Niles North Vikings. If you can direct your attention to the northeast corner of the end zone and welcome your defensive starters for the evening. Everybody on your feet, let's make some noise as we introduce the Purple Rain. Here are your defensive starters. At the Lightning end, he's a senior, number 12, Jordan Jackson. At tackle, senior, number 33, Bilal Basti. The other tackle, he's a junior, number 65, Sammy Kessler. At the strong side, on the end, he's a sophomore, number 56, Quint Q. Goats. At the will linebacker, he's a sophomore, number 20, Riley Ryutakar. At the Sam linebacker, senior number 28, Aldwin Chu. The man in the middle, freshman number 5, Jaden Isaacs. At the field quarterback, sophomore number 9, Jalen Pruitt. Boundary quarterback, he's a sophomore, number 13, A.J. Harris. Our safety, he's a senior, number 18, Kyle Wilson. And our field safety, he's a senior, he's a captain, number 10, Lennox Monroe. And, ladies and gentlemen, let's now welcome the rest of your Vikings. Here they come!
All right. Come on. There you go.
On behalf of the administration, faculty, and students, we hope you will enjoy this evening's varsity game between the Maine West Warriors and our Niles North Vikings. The head coach for the Warriors is Jason Cradman. Head coach for the Vikings is Pat Pastorio. The officials for this evening's game, they are sanctioned by IHSA to officiate this game with the highest standards. Referee, Tom Hogan. Umpire, John Glazer. Linesman, Dwayne Fountain. Line judge, Larry Erickson. And back judge, Dean Kerr. These individuals are registered by the Illinois High School Association. Their experience and integrity qualify them to administer the rules of the game. An attitude of good sportsmanship should be upheld by all spectators, players, and coaches, no matter what their personal feelings or loyalties may be in this contest. Please respect the integrity and judgment of our game officials.
All right, so those were the game officials. Just walking. There's that right on over from the IHSA to regulate keep this competition fair here at the Gridiron in Chuck Class Stadium. The Maine West Warriors will kick the ball off to start the ball game. Niles North, KC. For the uniforms for tonight, Maine West sporting their white jerseys with gray lettering with a yellow trim, along with blue pants. As they kick it off to Niles North, wearing all gray. That's a muff kick. Who takes it? Chris Harris on the return, number 16. The team's top returner.
The return is made by number 18, Kyle Wilson, for a 6-yard return.
Takes that one up.
It'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
They'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
18-yard line.
Alright, so here comes the Niles North offense. Onto the field. They'll start from their own 18-yard line. 1st and 10. Chris Bland, the quarterback, taking a snap, and he's going to hand it off. She's flipped over.
Number 12, Jordan Jackson, the ball carrier.
Jordan Jackson. They'll bring up 2nd down.
Pickup of 1 on the play.
Small pickup of 1.
Brought down by number 51, Hector Hernandez. It'll bring up 2nd down for the Vikings.
Chris Bland backing up in the shotgun. Looks like a pass here. It's going to be an option play. As the quarterback takes it for a minimal gain.
Quarterback keeper knocked out of bounds by number 52. Gain of 4 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Vikings.
At 11:18 left to go. The first quarter still really well in this ball game. It's the first drive here for Niles North. As well as the entire ball game. First offensive drive here. Brown will keep
quarterback keeper.
Nice quarterback keeper there. Up the middle.
Enough gain on the play. So do we need to move those chains? First and 10 Vikings.
After that nice big gap to run through. And the Vikings will move the chains. But the story is out on the field. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout called. As we take a break in the action.
There's an official timeout on the field.
So no team will be charged with timeout. There's an official timeout. Both teams will still have 3 timeouts at their disposal. Maine West defense makes its way out back onto the field. And Pistoia breaks up the huddle of the Niles offense. First and 10. 11-12 remaining in the first. And the offense will get themselves situated here. First and 10. This Brand, number 34, in a shotgun. He's running back Jordan Jackson. Takes the handoff, and he's tripped up from behind the line.
Chris Brand on the quarterback keeper, brought down by number 8, Isaiah Slim Davis. Pickup of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Vikings.
Bring up 2nd and 9 for the Vikings. 10:40 remaining in the first quarter. Well, the Vikings find themselves ending up with another 2nd and 9. I think they're going to look to pass here. Grant does throw it. And that one is just wrong at the turn. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Along the 40-yard line. Skips onto the turn.
Pass was intended for number 9, Jalen Pruitt. Incomplete will bring up 3rd down for the Vikings.
The Vikings definitely in the shot to win. And the official blows the whistle here. Play will be waved off. And timeout called by Coach Pistorius. But they will resume the play. 3 timeouts remaining for both teams still. This Brand. Shotgun for Niles. 2 wide receivers on both sides. Maine West
It's complete to number 14, Anthony Davis. Gain of about 10 on the play. Move those chains. First and 10 Vikings.
That'll be a 1st and 10 for Niles. Looks like a single formation here. As Brand takes a snap, looks outside. Brand was hit pretty hard. Struggles to get up.
Pass is complete to number 13, Anthony Harris. Gain of 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Vikings.
2nd and 5 after that intermediate pass. Brand looks to the sideline for directions. Drops back in the gun. 3 wide receivers to the right of Brand. As he keeps the ball, surges forward to about the 45-yard line. It'll nearly be enough for a
Quarterback
first down.
keeper, gain of 4 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 1 for the Vikings.
So a promising situation here for the Vikings.
Let's go, Vikings!
Yeah, I think Niles has had some success with the running game. So I feel like they're going to try to pick up the first down on the ground and play conservative here. We'll see if they'll do it.
defense for encroachment, 5-yard penalty. That'll move those chains. 1st and 10, Vikings.
Nice job there by Bland, catching them on the hard cap. The offensive line actually doesn't move, so it's an encroachment penalty on the defense. On the other hand, it will be a false start on Niles North on the left side of the offensive line. That'll bring up a 1st and 15.
False start on the Vikings, 5-yard penalty.
Take back
Would be 1st down.
a loss. We'll be back to the 45-yard line. 1st and 15. 5-yard penalty negates that original 5-yard encroachment penalty that Chris Bland reduced on this Maine West defensive line. Another quarterback keeper. Bland gets a nice short gain.
Quarterback keeper.
8:32 remaining.
Pick up a 3 on the play. Brings up 2nd down for the Vikings.
Second down and 12. Three wide receivers to the right of Bland. That being another false start on Niles North. And here the offense, they got to be on the same page here. This is that false start penalty.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Once more. And notice Niles being looked, especially on the offensive line. Communication is key here on offense. And show right there, miscommunication there. One offensive line is off page.
Let's go, Vikings!
Come on, guys! Come on! It's actually a pretty good drive. We got some things going. And they crossed into a little territory. Another bad play there. That's Niles, and he can take it to the house. They've got a convoy of defenders blocking, and that'll bring up the score, a touchdown. Maine West, a defensive fumble. The defensive force fumbled there, and they're returning for 6 points.
Touchdown was by number 32, Cameron Hutt.
Cameron Hutt returning it to the end zone using that nice speed.
There was a fumble on the play. It was recovered by Maine West for a touchdown.
After that fumble, and Maine West will score the first 6 points of the ballgame. That was not a good play there by the center. He missed the snap. He went way over Bland's head. And Bland unable to gather it. And so does the Niles entire offense.
Extra point is good.
Covers it.
Vikings Warriors 7 points.
They take it to the house. Touchdown, Maine West. And so the Warriors kick the PAT and they make it. They make it 7-0. In the first quarter, there's 7:39 remaining. If you're just tuning in, I'm Josh Rivera, giving you the call from Chuck Cross Stadium in Skokie, Illinois. Warriors with a 7-0 lead against the Niles North Carnivals. A chilly night here at Chuck Cross Stadium. Most of the fans dressed in heavy gear as they sit on these metal bleachers here, trying to warm themselves on this frigid night. That's how you know fall is coming. The weather has gotten chillier and chillier. After that quick score for the defense of Maine West, they look to get set and kick it off to Niles North. has been a strength for Niles North throughout the season. A memorable game for Chris Harris, the punt returner, the kick returner, as he took 2 scores on the last drive pass against Buffalo Blue Bison. Niles North lost that one by a huge margin, 59-21.
Ball is returned to the 27-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for the Vikings.
30-0 deficit in the first half. At the end of the first half, they could just never come back as they launched that one to Buffalo Grove. Now that's Niles North Working Media broadcast. Speaking of broadcasts, don't forget to catch the October 18th broadcast as Niles North takes on Maine East at home. It is their homecoming game. What a great run there by Chris Bland. Great job with the keeper.
Face mask holding against the Vikings.
An unsung hero here is the offensive line of the Vikings. Great job creating the freeze there. Maine West caught off guard, and the speed of Bland able to get him a few extra yards. Not a normal sight to see at the quarterback position, but when you have a guy like Chris Bland, he's got his
10-yard penalty.
he picks up the first down and a lot more.
First and 10 Vikings.
So that'll bring up the first and 10. They actually bring it back. They're now at the 28-yard line, 26-7. First and 10 regardless. Balls went through his hands. Incomplete pass. And a big opportunity.
Pass was intended for number 13, Anthony Harris.
We know he has a strong arm.
Incomplete. That'll bring up second down for the Vikings.
Got to be able to hit him on the spot. And guess what? He did. It just falls right through the receiver's hand. Good throw by Chris Bland. That'll be an incompletion on a missed opportunity in this Vikings team. Bland trying to get him with a hard count. Fails to do so, so he looks over the sideline for the call. 4 wide receivers out, 1 running back in. Bland scrambling, looking for a man to throw to. And he gets it off. Easy interception for Maine West. Nice interception there.
Pass is intercepted
as they take over.
by the Warriors. They will take over. It'll be first and 10. The interception was by number 2, Jaden Dolphin.
By Chris Bland. Ohio's quarterback, just throwing that one harmlessly into the turf. You just can't do that. Just threw one up for grabs, and the cornerback there, sitting in the zone, was able to catch that one, pick that one off this guy easily. Because of that mistake, they're giving this Maine West offense great field position in the 45-yard line, or the 40-yard line. So, just a costly mistake there from them. Even if he would throw incomplete, a punt will be a much better situation.
20, Zach Norman brought down by number 28, Aldrin 2. Pickup of 1 on the play. It'll be second and 9 for the Warriors.
Second and 9.
Norman, the ball carrier again. Brought down by number 5, Jaden Isaacs. Third and 3 for the Warriors.
You see that in the this modern day of high school football.
Timeout is called by the Vikings.
Timeout will be called. And as the situation for the Saints on defense. It was the first timeout for the ball game overall. And the Niles Vikings have two.
While we're in a timeout, I'd like to remind you of the corporate sponsors for the Niles North Athletic Booster Club. They are so important to our program here. We'd like to ask you all to please support them when you are around the community. Those corporate sponsors are Athletico, Blaze Pizza, Buffalo Wild Wings, Chick-fil-A, Culver's, Hart Automotive, Injury Attorneys of Illinois, Jen's Pizza, Kobe Care Chiropractic Services, Lou Maldani's, Maggiano's, Martin Nissan, and Oakton Community College.
And as player teams, we'd like to thank those sponsors for supporting this Niles North football program, as well as all the athletic programs here at Niles North. Pistol formation here for Maine West. Motion, man in motion. And that proves to be the difference. He's going to take this one to the house. Touchdown Maine West. A nice run right up the left side. And Maine West will take a 13-0 lead. And with 5:50 to go, the Maine West Warriors look to be controlling this ball game at the moment. That was a great run there by the running back there from Maine West. Very great job by the offensive line blocking. That tight end in motion really made all the difference there. They were able to cover the weak side, bring that tight end over, and great job to support the running game. Able to turn it in for 6. Make that 7 as the Vikings will trail the Warriors after that terrific score from Maine West. Great job running the ball as they take a 14-0 lead. I'd like to give a quick shout out to a fan watching, a family friend of mine, Nina Canizado and the Canizado family, as they are watching from Romeoville. And we'd like to thank them for watching this broadcast and tuning in and supporting NN Viking Media. Romeoville, a town 1 hour away from here, so you got fans watching from all over the state. In this case, Romeoville 1 hour away. Thank you for watching this. And despite the proximity, this great platform on YouTube able to bind us together. And thank you for watching as Maine West is ready to boot this one off.
passes completes number 12, Jordan Jackson. Brought down by number 2, Jaden Dolphins. Gain of 5 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Vikings. Jackson, the ball carrier. Moving on the play. Third down.
Shotgun formation there. That's going to be an easy flag to call. An easy flag to call there. As Bland takes a big hit to the upper body area. That's why they call penalties like those. A rather dirty hit there. It looked like he was trying to stop his momentum from coming in and Bland. But a little too late there.
Personal foul is called against the
Easy personal foul to call on the official's part. Not showing it on our broadcast right now, but Bland is still on the field. Obviously a very key part to this Vikings offense. So Bland is able to get back up on his own power. Looks like Vikings use a key figure in their offense. Yeah, Bland's a very interesting guy. He has a very great arm. He can also run the ball fairly well. Do-it-all guy. He can run the ball, he can throw the ball. Almost like a Michael Vick type of player. All right, so play resumes on the field. .355 remaining. All right, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 12 here. And he airs it out, a deep throw. Incomplete that time, as that'll bring up a 3rd down and 12 with 3:32 remaining. Yeah, that loss was a very critical one. In fact, Chris Bland, if you have just tuned in, was knocked rather hard by a Maine West defender as he was sliding down to avoid a hit. He was still hit, and a late hit that time on Maine West's part. And the Niles North Vikings really feeling the effects of missing Chris Bland out on the field. All right, so a timeout was called by Niles North, and that'll leave them with one timeout remaining, with 3:32 remaining. All right, so the Vikings come back out in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to his right. And there was definitely movement at the line. We'll see the call. It looks to be favoring Maine West's way. Looks like a Niles North false start, and it is. The referee moves it back 5 yards. They'll put the ball at the 36-yard line. 3rd and 17 now. Once again, Niles North coming out with 3 wide receivers to the right, with 1 wide out to the left. And it looks like another timeout here for Niles North. That'll be their last timeout. With 3:11 remaining, the Vikings burn out all their timeouts as we take a break in the action here. Martin Nissan sponsoring Niles North football, as we gave a quick shout out to them over the loudspeaker. So if you're just tuning in, 3:11 remaining in the first quarter. We still have 1 more quarter to go, and then the second half, Chris and Austin will take over the broadcasting booth as we get set to resume play here at Chuck Pa Stadium here at the Niles North High School. So the ref blows the whistle and we're ready to resume play. Ball on the 36. Bland is back in the game and he makes a nice completion. And that is caught by Giovanni Millen-Pryor. Feature back for the Niles North Vikings. And would you look at that? Chris Bland back after being shaken up by that late hit. As he took the slide, he's now back in the ball game. And Niles North breathing a sigh of relief there. Coach Vistorio on the sideline putting his hands up, saying, "Where's the encroachment call?" But a missed call there. And they're going to actually bring the ball back. Crowd in disbelief. And they're going to continue play here. .227 and ticking here for Niles North. Hard count doesn't work, so he looks back to the sideline for the call. On the field for the Vikings, the personnel, 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. Bland in the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Pryor as he rolls out of the pocket, and he's brought down from behind with 2:01 remaining in the first quarter. That'll bring up a punt here, or excuse me, turnover on downs. That was actually 4th down for Niles North, and that'll make it 1st and 10 for Maine West. Yeah, and just like the issues back in the previous ball games for Niles North, they have not been able to
get this offense rolling. You see them with this great field position, and sometimes they do get humming, but they're just not able to string together a perfect drive, and that perfect drive ends in a touchdown. But Niles North unable to get that type of drive that'll keep them in this ball game. And if Maine West scores another touchdown, or at least a field goal, that makes it a 3-possession game. Awfully tough for the Vikings to come back after that. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 9 with 1:30 remaining in the first quarter. Maine West gets set at the line. A 4-3 formation for Niles North's defense, with 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers. And that one is caught by the wideout as he breaks through the wall that is Niles North's defense. And he gets the first down and more, but wait, there's a flag on the field. Hold everything here. We'll see what the call is. And that is against Maine West, an illegal block in the back. That is the call on the field, and that'll bring that back for Maine West. As the referees will spot it all the way back to the 50-yard line. Still pretty good field position, but you'd like to have more than that for Maine West, as that illegal block in the back negates that great play from number 2, the wide out for Maine West. That'll bring up 1st and 10 though, as they get a fresh set of downs at the 50-yard line. Yeah, it's 1st and 10 right now. I would actually run the ball here on 1st and 10. We'll see what they'll do here. And they pull out the play action, and it's caught. Same wideout, number 2, on Maine West's part. Great catch there. And the tackle by Pruitt. With 48 ticks left on the clock in the first quarter, a nice throw there, and actually a nice play design there for Maine West. Yeah, the very great call there. I thought they were going to run the ball to, establish that set of downs. It was 1st and 10. So normally you'd like to get 2nd and medium, and the best way to achieve that is through the running game. And that time, Niles North probably thought the same thing that I did, and actually bid for the play fake, and ended up giving up big yardage here on that most recent play. And just a costly mistake there for Niles North's defense. Bid on the play fake. Can't do that, as a nice throw down the field. A nice connection there for Maine West. So 16 seconds left on the clock. The referee's trying to get something situated here. All right, now we have 24 seconds on the scoreboard here at Niles North, Chuck Pass Stadium. For Maine West, the ball is on the 16-yard line, and the ref resumes play. Well, everyone is still confused on the field. They'll finally get play to resume here. And the shotgun fakes the handoff in a nice throw and catch. Oh my goodness! He spins away from the tackle, and a very tough, earned, hard-nosed touchdown there for Maine West. Just a great play there. And I thought they had now Maine West covered up there. Number 2, the wideout, able to slip out of those tackles, acrobatically diving for the end zone. And he makes it a 20-point game now. 21 if Maine West can tack in that extra point. Yeah, that was a very, very good effort there for that Maine West wideout. Just the ability to push through. And even though he was wrapped up by a bunch of Niles North defenders, he was still able to find his way through the thickets. And he was able to get through that jungle of Niles North defenders. He's able to score 6. Great job by him. And he gives this Maine West team a potential 21-point lead if they can tack in this extra point. And the boot is good. Maine West kicker 3 for 3 on extra points. All right, so if you stay tuned in the second half, we'll have Chris Kensiora on board, along with me, Josh DeVera, in the booth as we commentate the second half for you guys back at home. And this has been a particularly one-sided game, although Niles North has picked up some momentum, but they are unable to convert on each of their offensive possessions. And Chris Bland and company looking to make looking to garner a different result as they look to score in the second quarter. And as we begin the second quarter, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to my sister Sam DeVera for making the ILMEA All-District Choir. She has done a great job in terms of the choral department, and just like to give a quick shout out to her while we're at it. Congrats, sis, and hopefully you're watching back at home as Maine West kicks it off. High boot taken. Oh, he muffs it, and he falls on top of it at around the 26-yard line as Niles North offense will be ready to take the field. You know, I noticed special teams has been particularly off so far tonight. You know, they've been unable to get somewhat of a spark for this Niles North offense. And against this Maine West defense, Niles North, their offense has not been particularly bad. You know, they've been able to move this ball against this Warriors defense, but they're just unable to get into the end zone. And that's what Pistorio particularly wants out of this team. Hopefully, to start off the second quarter, come up with 7 points. That's the main goal for Niles North here on this drive. That one's a low snap. And he gives it off to the running back. All right, that'll bring up a 2nd and 10. That run accounting for no yardage at all. At least he got back to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to run the ball. They actually fake the fake. Fake the play action play there. And he'll be tackled for a loss. Didn't fool the Maine West defenders there. Also, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Elisa Lee. She is usually the director here, Niles North student, and she's normally up here in the booth directing, giving everyone directions on what to do in terms of the camera work. She's done a terrific job. Tonight she's watching. She is out sick, but she's done a very great job here at NN Viking Media, taking care of all the broadcasts we've done, and so I'd just like to give a quick shout out to her. All right, so a 3rd and long for Niles North, and Bland is just going to throw this one out to the sideline. No chance of converting that first down. So that'll bring up a 4th down and a punt here for Niles North. Yeah, that was not a very good sequence of events for Niles North's offense. Normally, you'd like to get at least a first down, but they were unable to do that as this Maine West, with their stout defense, able to stop this Niles North offense. 2 kick returners out on the field for Maine West. That takes a very nice bounce for Niles North, and they'll down it at the 39-yard line. And that'll abruptly end Niles North's possession of the football. It turns over to Maine West, the Warriors. Will be taking the field in a short bit with 10-12 remaining in the second quarter. With 10-12 remaining in the second quarter, here comes the Maine West offense. If I'm Niles North's defense, I'm looking to get some penetration up at the fronts. You got some nice-sized linemen there for Niles North, but for the most part, they've been unable to penetrate through. We'll see if they can get some penetration here for Niles North's defense. Bowls over the defender there as a nice running play will be made for Maine West. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6. Clock is running, 9:47 remaining in the second quarter as the Warriors lead the Vikings 21-0. I'd like to see this Niles North defense, create some turnovers. They haven't been able to do that for the most part this season, but a turnover here will be much needed. Niles North's got to play aggressive on the defensive end. Able to slither his way past the Niles North defense, and a nice gain, although it looks like it's not enough for the first down. Yes, they'll mark him short of the line. He'll be a yard short. That'll make it 3rd and 1. Ball on the 48-yard line. Well, apparently they'll take that back. A holding penalty will be called on Maine West. That'll give Niles North's defense some leverage here as they try to keep it that way and hopefully give the ball back to their offense. Ball is spotted at the 38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Man in motion, and a jet sweep there. Hands it off, and he will be pushed out. Nice gain on the play. And Riley Riatar to make the tackle on the field. Pushes him out of bounds. Now bring up 3rd down. Ball will be placed at the 43. Hand signals from the sideline for Maine West. Ball on the 30-yard line. Nice hit there from Niles North's defense. And that'll move the chains here for Maine West. Once again, I want to point out the lack of pass rush from Niles North's defense. They've got to get some penetration up at the fronts. That's the key. Win the battle in the trenches. And so far, Maine West has been easily winning that battle. We'll see if Niles North can push through on the defensive line, because if they don't, it's going to be a long day for the linebackers here at Niles North, as well as the secondary. Drops back to pass. Nice throw. He's got some separation, but it's picked off. Picked off by Niles North. There's a flag on the field as Pryor picks his way through the Maine West offense, now turned defense. But some flags were thrown at around the 25-yard line. Yeah, and like we said earlier, we need some turnovers. And that time, Pryor able to come up clutch with that interception. I initially thought that he had some separation against the Niles North defender, Millen Pryor, but Pryor's able to jump that route, and he's able to get in the path of the wide receiver. The ball was underthrown a little bit, but that's not going to hurt the Vikings as they get the interception, and a much-needed one, too, for Niles North. And although that penalty will negate the return that Pryor had all the way out to the 40-yard line, I still think this is very crucial, possibly a turning point. We will also see if Chris Bland can lead this offense down the field. And it all starts with the play calling. We'll see if Pistorio tries to get Bland focused here and in rhythm. Yeah, and those are the types of call plays that I like. A nice short pass, and he's able to get it close to the first down marker. Nice intermediate play to set up second and medium. They're still inside their own 20, but they're looking to advance from there. A nice move there. Nice cut. He's still on his feet. Holds onto the ball after he was jolted there towards the lower body. Chris Harris making the catch. Yes, indeed. We're going to move those chains. First down for the Niles North Vikings. Clock update. 7:20 remaining in the second quarter as the Warriors lead the Vikings 21-0. Bland, however, looking to get this offense back on track, but as I was making that remark, a near interception there after a tip, likely coming from the defensive line of Maine West, and nearly an interception there. Yeah, and if you're a Niles North offense, you just can't have that. A nice throw there by Bland, but the defensive line able to get some penetration. He was able to get his paws up there, and Niles North's offensive line just has to do a better job of, imposing their will against these Maine West defenders. They've done a great job on offense in terms of their aerial attack, but they've got to fix it at the trenches. As Pryor takes the handoff, you will be sandwiched that time. Millen Pryor with a short gain of 2. That'll bring up 3rd and 8. Hard count doesn't get Maine West to encroach the neutral zone. 3 wide receivers to the right of Bland, 1 to the left. Yeah, I'm looking to throw to that guy right there. Looks like Jalen Butler. And a throw down the field. Whoa, and it's nearly caught. But a big hit will jar the ball loose. You just love to have those throws if you're Chris Bland. And I don't blame him. He placed it perfectly that time. But the receiver unable to haul it in. And when it hits your hands like that, you got to be able to make that catch initially. And that tip actually allowed that Maine West defender, that Maine West safety, to lay the hammer on him. And he was able to jar the ball loose. So that'll bring up 4th and 8. And he was looking for room to punt it. And that'll at least put it inside Maine West territory as the ball takes a nice roll. As they down it at around the 37-yard line of Maine West. 6:01 remaining in the first half. Second half, Chris Kenziora will be joining our broadcast. So as Maine West offense takes the field with 6:01 remaining, Niles North looks to clamp up on defense just like they did last time. First and 10. Actually a direct snap to the running back there. Nice gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 5. .540 remaining in the second quarter as Maine West lines up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers for the Warriors. Man in motion. Oh, he nearly gets hit before he threw the ball. Oh, a nice catch there. Great throw anyways from the quarterback there, number 7 for Maine West. And that was a pretty good throw there. And a nice completion and a first down for Maine West. Yeah, that was a very good throw that time by the quarterback. Able to get that back shoulder. Well, it wasn't really a back shoulder throw, but able to throw it where only his receiver can get it. That's something that quarterback coaches love to preach. Throw it somewhere where only your guy could get it, if possible. And that time it was possible. And even though he had a defensive lineman in his face, he was still able to get that ball thrown. And a nice completion there. Nice catch. Way to go for that receiver to haul it in. And a first down. I'd also like to point out, we talked earlier about, Maine West's ability to win the battle in the trenches. Well, that time on the play 2, on the plays on the 2 plays before this one. Nice job by the defensive line of Niles North to be able to, penetrate Maine West's offensive line and a security breach that time on Maine West's part, but quarterback able to get a nice throw and a first down on that particular play. And for those at home, we'd like to give a shout out to the Niles North Athletic Boosters Club, as they have provided many things for this program, including equipment and improvements to this Niles North football program, including this brand new turf that debuted this year, as they have done a tremendous job of supporting this Niles North football program. Just like to give a quick shout out to them. They deserve it. That'll bring up 3rd and 14. Play action there as he looks to throw off balance, and he makes the catch. What a great throw that time by the quarterback, able to find his man for a first down. Yeah, that was a nice job by the quarterback, first of all, to extend the play with his legs. You know, he's not strictly a pocket passer. You know, he could scramble, and that time he did. Great job extending the play, and he found the open lane within that zone coverage. You know, zone coverage is not perfect. And that time, Maine West was able to exploit that zone coverage for a first down. And Jordan Jackson with a tackle on that previous play, a tackle for a loss. You know, like we said earlier, one of the keys to the game for Niles North's defense is to be able to win the battle in the trenches. That time, Jordan Jackson able to penetrate and put some pressure on this Maine West offense. But a huge run for Maine West offense. Nice job that time, getting some penetration for the offensive line. As they bulldoze through the defensive line, they're able to break to the second level, and a nice play is finally brought down inside the 10-yard line. Yeah, that was a very, very good run, and just an unbelievable display of strength for this Maine West offensive line. You know, able to bulldoze their way through. Great blocking scheme. They're able to pick up the first down and a lot more. Man in motion. And he is wrapped up by a sea of Vikings defenders. Yeah, there wasn't a lot on that play, but he was lucky to get it back up to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 with 1:40 remaining in the second quarter. Yeah, if you're Niles North, it would be much needed if their defense could come up with a stop here. A turnover would be magnificent for this Niles North team, but that's highly unlikely given the way that Maine West has played so far tonight. Once again, we see that man in motion. They're going to run it to the left once again, and a touchdown, Maine West. Yeah, Niles North got caught by the same exact play Maine West ran earlier for the touchdown to make it 21-0 earlier in the ball game. That time they brought, I believe it was the receiver in motion, or the tight end in motion to block off that weak side, and the running back is able to just cruise his way into the end zone as he makes the field goal to make it 20-0. You know, I just think it comes down to awareness at that point. They brought the man in motion, and just like that last touchdown run for Maine West, in which they did that same exact thing. They brought the tight end in motion, ran to the left side. They did the same thing there, but Niles North, I think they knew it was coming, but they're still unable to make the stop on that play. So that'll make it a 28-0 game with 1:11 remaining in the second quarter. So a chilly night here at Chuck Pass Stadium as the fans are bundled up here in the metal bleachers of Niles North. It's a nice time for Friday Night Lights here at Chuck Pass Stadium in Skokie, Illinois. The Vikings providing no score yet in this 28-0 blowout so far in the first half. Alright, so Maine West is just about ready to boot it off. 1:11 left. Niles North, if they hurry, and a miscue there once again on the special teams. Millen Pryor, the return gets, he at least gets back to the 20-yard line. That'll make it a 1st and 10 for the Vikings as they get set to start off their drive here. Yeah, if you're looking at the clock, 1:06, normally you'd like to have a score here, but with no timeouts, it just seems unlikely that they'll be able to do so. It's going to take some masterful clock management here, almost like a Belichick-Brady type of genius to get this one down the field and possibly touchdown on the other end. As Bland throws it, and it's caught to the outside, trying to get out of bounds. I believe it's Millen Pryor. Or excuse me, that is Jalen Butler. Nice catch there. And Jalen Butler, a good weapon for this Niles North offense if they want to throw the deep ball. That time he contributes on the intermediate passing game. Nice throw there. And the clock will be running. 45 seconds left in the first half. Bland escaping, and a mistake there as he's unable to get away from the pressure. He's sacked on that play. That'll bring up 3rd and long. Yeah, once again, the trenches battle. Niles North has not been able to contain this Maine West pass rush. They've been getting owned so far, and it shows right there. Chris Bland, he can use his legs, he can run, but he's just unable to get away from that much pressure. Too much pressure there by Maine West, and Niles North is unable to stop it, and Chris Bland is unable to get away from it. On that last play, the defensive lineman just gashed through the hole and gobbled Chris Bland up for a 3rd and long. That'll bring up 3rd and 20 to be exact. Highly unlikely that they'll be able to convert this one. They have 3 wide receivers to the right of Bland, 1 wide receiver to the top of your screen. And he rockets that one out. That throw was too hard. Put too much mustard on that one. And that'll bring up 4th and 20 with 32 ticks left on the clock. Yeah, and because of this, you give Maine West an opportunity to actually score. If you don't, punt this ball away far enough. I think they're gonna go for it. Not quite sure why, but they're going to choose to go for it here. With 4th down and 20, a surprising decision here. We all know Coach Pistorio loves to gamble on these types of situations. We'll see if it'll turn out for Niles North here. Pass rush coming. One unblocked defender will get him. A sack on the play. He at least gets back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about it. .28 seconds left in the first half. As Maine West gets set to return this kick. Actually, 4th and 21. Nice boot there. Takes a nice Niles North roll And it'll be spotted at around the 37-yard line. They'll bring out this Maine West offense promptly before the end of the half
45-yard
as we get set to resume play. No, I think Maine West will just try to run this ball out. You know, there's no use really to drive down the field here. But if I'm Maine West, I would play conservatively here. You're leading big, 28-0. I don't really see a reason to, you know, try and get at least one more score. But if you look at this roster, Maine West is very capable of throwing deep. We've seen that many times throughout this ball game. And the ball's on the 37-yard line. We'll see what they do here. And they throw it short, hook and ladder. Oh, and he's running down the sideline. There was a flag on the field, though, after a good effort there from the receiver. Finally pushed out by the safety. And we have a flag on the field here. We'll see the official ruling.
Holding is called against Maine West.
And that'll be a holding call against Maine West. And with 7 seconds here, what do you do? Well, I would see, you know, where this ball would be placed and then, you know, decide whether I want to, you know, take one more shot or actually two more shots since they actually have 2 more timeouts remaining this half. So you could come up with a quick pass play here, or you could just run out the clock, and they do here with a kneel down. And time ticking down as that'll end the first half. Very eventful first half for one team. The second team putting a goose egg on the scoreboard. Score here, Maine West with a score of 28. Niles North, nothing, as both teams will head for a break, and so will we. We'll keep the broadcast on for the halftime show, halftime festivities. But Niles North not doing so hot. 0-28 your score. We'll be back. But first, here are the halftime festivities. Here are the Vikets.
These dancers have been working hard to put together an awesome routine for you. We had so much fun with our future Vikettes. The dancers tonight will be performing a palm routine to a Kelly Clarkson mix. The Niles North dance team is led by head coach Shannon Washington and assistant.
And out on the field, here is the Niles North dance team.
Thank you, ladies and junior Vikings. Tryouts for the Vikings winter competitive season on Monday, October 28th, right after school. Please contact head coach Shannon Washington for more details. Thanks to everyone for all your support for the Vikings and the football team. And as always, go Vikings!
All right, so we're moments away from returning to action here at Chuck Pass Stadium. I'm Josh DeVera, joined with Chris Kensiora here in the booth as we get set to kick off the second half of this ball game. Only around 35 seconds left until kickoff.
Sort of a lopsided game so far.
Indeed.
We're hoping. Oh, audio just cut.
Well, we're having a bit of technical difficulties here, but we're hoping to kick off this second half with a boom. 5 seconds left, and play will resume in just a moment.
Yeah, Niles North will definitely need a little bit of a running start this half after falling behind 28-0 in the first, and they're definitely going to need some big plays to really get that offense rolling and some big stops for the defense.
All right, so at Chuck Pass Stadium, the second half of our Friday Night Lights special between Maine West and Niles North will get set, and the kicker ready to boot this one away. From the 40-yard line, here's the kick. And that one's a wobbly kick there, but it's taken from his own 36-yard line. Just a short little return there, but still great field position for Maine West as it's spotted at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for Maine West.
Not what Niles North really wanted there, as they're starting Maine West off with some great field position, and it's already a 4-possession game. But they were able to at least hold them to a very short return on the kickoff. So hopefully they get a nice stop here, drop them back a little bit, and do something on offense maybe with their next drive.
Yeah, that was a kind of kickoff. It was a kind of a kickoff hybrid there between a kickoff and an onside kick. Anyways, a short kick and a short return as a result. And they'll start the drive at their 40-yard line, but they're going to air it out here. Big play opportunity for Maine West, comes up empty-handed. Great coverage there on the defense, and it's now 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the throw right there was a little short and a little bit to the right also, two up the middle of the field. The receivers seem to have a little bit of speed on that Niles North secondary, but good job keeping their receiver away from the ball to get a incompletion right there.
Yeah, he had about a half a step there, but the throw was off target, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10 as a result of that incomplete pass. That's going to be a handoff, and he finds a hole, turns nothing into something, still on his feet after breaking that tackle. Strong legs there, and a nice return, a nice run. That'll bring up a 1st down and 10 inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, avoiding the defense has been the story of Maine West's offense today. They've really been doing a great job of just breaking tackles and finding holes. And that little hesitation right there is kind of like a prime example of just how this game has been going for Maine West's offense.
Yeah, earlier in the broadcast, we were talking about how Niles North, the key to winning this game is to win the battle in the trenches. So far, they have not really been able to do that on both sides of the ball, and it's cost them really the entirety of this ball game. Short gain there for Maine West. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, when you're that close in the red zone, those little gains can mean a lot, especially on a 1st down play and it's 1st and goal. You got to really limit that if you're Niles North's defense, because anything more than a field goal right here could potentially be a dagger.
Yeah, a possible knife in the throat for the Vikings if they let up a touchdown here. The lead has already expanded to a 4-score game, 28-0. As a man in motion for Maine West to the left side, but that one's tipped and caught by the referee. And that'll be an incomplete pass with 10:35 remaining in the third quarter. Quarter is still young as Maine West will be threatening in the red zone inside the 10-yard line as they get set for this next offensive play.
Yeah, and if you're Niles North right here, you're probably expecting a pass, seeing the last play especially, and knowing that it's third down. But you kind of have to be open to the idea of maybe a pitch or an inside handoff to try and maybe sneak into the end zone right here.
Yeah, and the timeout will be called. Maine West will call their first timeout of the half. So if you're Niles North's defense here, what really are you looking for? Because they've thrown so many things at you. Run, pass. Maine West's offense has been successful in both areas. So what do you do to combat this third down?
I mean, you almost want to blitz right here, but with such little space left to go till the end zone, you kind of have to. It's going to be a very much of a coin flip as to what's going to happen. So there's really no perfect way to approach this if you're Niles North's defense. You kind of have to just hope that your play call goes as planned and that nothing good happens for Maine West's offense.
Yeah, if I were in this situation, if I were Pistorio, I'd really put blitzing in a perspective because really in the 6-yard line, you really got nothing to lose here if you're Niles North. So I would just play press coverage and hopefully throw a lot of pressure at the quarterback. And this time, he's going to run over the defender. Nice touchdown there for the quarterback. Maine West boosting their lead to 34 after that nice QB keeper.
Yeah, they sold him with the fake handoff there, and then the QB takes it to the house up the middle, found a nice gap. And, yeah, now it's a 5-possession game, and we will have to see if Niles North's offense can be up pace enough and effective enough to try and get them back into this game.
Yeah, Niles North with a must-score here on their ensuing offensive possession. The extra point is good, and that'll make it 35-0 here with 10:31 remaining in the third quarter.
Of course, we'd all love to see the comeback of the ages here, and it's not necessarily an impossible deficit still with 10.5 left in the third quarter and another fourth to go. But the way Maine West's offense has been really just pounding and gaining yards just quick and efficient, and as they've been, you kind of have to wonder how the defense has such a big role and what they can do to help cut down this deficit at least. And maybe we can see a nice little comeback.
Hypothetical. Yeah, Niles North's defense did get Maine West's number on only one occasion, that interception in the first half to give the ball back to the offense. However, Niles North's offense, as you can see, has still not put any points on the board, so they were unable to convert on that turnover. Maine West, on the meanwhile, has done the most of their opportunities, as actually the scoring here in this ball game started with a fumble return for a touchdown for Maine West. So pretty much that's the story of the ball game. The fumble return, just a lopsided ball game so far for Niles North. And he leaps over the defender, and he's finally tripped up. That is Jalen Butler, number 6, the wide receiver, on the return, as that'll set the Vikings up with great field position. The refs will spot the ball at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, well, one of the highlights we've been able to really see of this Vikings team this year has been their special teams. They've been very good at putting their offense into very good field position and giving them great opportunities to score if they aren't scoring themselves. So let's see if the offense can take advantage of the field position.
Bland with a quarterback keeper. And a small game that time.
Yeah, I think they might have to be a little bit more versatile with their play calls. I think that maybe we see a trick play, try and get them back in this. Maybe we go for some maybe more high-risk plays, especially seeing as though they're down by 35 at the moment. So I would like to see a little bit more of high-risk situations than they've been playing so far.
Yeah, and with Pistoria's personality and the situation they're given right now, down 35 to nothing, I think high-risk plays will come at a premium here in the second half of this ball game. The previous play was an incompletion thrown off target by Bland, number 34, the quarterback, and that'll make it 3rd and 8. The ball is placed on the 43-yard line. Personnel on the field for the Vikings, 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side of your screen. As Bland checks with the offensive line, he's got a running back beside him. That's Jordan Jackson, number 12. And a nice throw by Bland, but it was too nice. Put too much mustard on that one. Incomplete, and he overthrows his receiver.
Yeah, unfortunate right there. A very long throw, and that's the kind of stuff that you'd like to see with this kind of deficit, but just a little bit too far for the receiver to really be able to do anything with it.
Yeah, and like we said, you know, we want to see these high-risk throws, and the receiver actually got a step on him, but Bland just off target on that one, unable to make the completion. That'll bring up a punt. Oh, nearly blocked by Maine West special teams unit. And that'll bounce to the 46-yard line, or 45 rather. As that'll put Maine West's offense up with even primer field position.
Yeah, and Maine West has been putting pressure on the punter all day, and we've seen it a couple times where they've only really been able to get off these short little punts and have been giving Maine West quite prime field position all day.
Indeed, and that'll put the ball at the 45-yard line after that rather short punt there from Niles North. And that'll put Maine West's offense up with a 1st and 10 with 9:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Looks right and keeps it. And he barrels down past midfield to the 49-yard line of Niles North. That'll bring up around 2nd and medium. 2nd and, let's say 4 on the play. Well, Chris, if you're Maine West, how would you attack this Niles North defense? You know, you've shown them a variety of plays, and I'm pretty sure Niles North's defense is rather confused at the moment. How do you attack them right now?
I mean, you can kind of take it two ways. You can either keep pounding with the run and pass kind of combination, or you just kind of go straight run off some clock, get the game over with, and be very conservative with it. I feel like they're probably going to keep with their same game plan for at least the next few minutes, if not till the end of the quarter. But I wouldn't be surprised if by the 4th quarter they're switching to a very ground and pound, conservative, conceal the lead offense.
All right, that'll put the ball at the 44-yard line of Niles North. Man in motion, that's the running back. Shotgun snap, and it's a play action. Seam down the middle, or towards the right side, cutting towards the middle, but that one was incomplete. And the quarterback nearly got him in stride, but it's incomplete, and there's a flag on the field.
Yeah, right there's a good old-fashioned case of taking your eye off the ball. He obviously tried to look downfield, saw the end zone, got really excited, and looked down, and the ball wasn't in his hands. So, I mean, a lucky break for Niles North, though the penalty was on the defense.
All right, that'll further advance the ball for Maine West. And that drop almost cost them a touchdown. Cost Niles Maine West a touchdown. And they teach that at every sport. Never leave your eyes off the ball, whether it's basketball, baseball, and football. You know, coordination is key, and that time they missed a big opportunity. Quarterback keeper there.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at how, not necessarily tricky, but how very broad of a play call selection Maine West is rolling with right now. It's very interesting, especially with their sort of lead, that they're making these deeper throws and these QB runs, especially at a time like this. I would think that you'd see more short, maybe some medium passes, and definitely not time to just go inside handoffs and just try and get first downs and run clock. But you definitely think that you would not be going for big plays every time.
Yeah, and vice versa for Niles North's offense, on the other hand. I'd like to see a more spread offense as that ball sails incomplete. I'd like to see an offense that incorporates more passing, more deep passing, more intermediate passing, and also a tiny mix of run game. I feel like they're too run heavy, especially with a quarterback, to the point where it becomes predictable. So if I'm Coach Pistorio, I like to incorporate some, middle passing in the game, some slant routes, some out routes in the ball game. They have done that to an extent in this ball game, but I feel like they haven't been cashing on the deep balls, the vertical passing that they had hoped coming into this ball game.
Yeah, there's no better time to really mix that kind of stuff in than a time like this for the Vikings.
Yeah, a very adverse time for Niles North. Oh, a nice open field tackle there for Niles North's defense. And a whistle on the field that is holding on Maine West. The Warriors get tagged with an offensive penalty, and that'll bring up 3rd and 15.
Yeah, this would be a great opportunity to come up with a stop for Niles North. It has not been a very common output this game, and to see that for Niles North, that'd be very good and very opportunistic for the offense to maybe get something off of that.
Yeah, we'll see if Niles North's defense can take advantage of the situation. That penalty backs them up to midfield, the 50-yard line, and that'll make it 2nd and 30 now. Long road ahead for the Warriors. Oh, and a deep pass, and they leave the middle of the field wide open. Touchdown there, Maine West. Do you think that was a busted coverage there?
Yeah, it looked like it had to have been somebody getting tangled up. Obviously, there's a bit of pressure on the quarterback, but he was able to escape that, find a little pocket to throw, and then he sees his receiver wide open down the middle of the field, and no need for him to let him run to the ball. Kind of just gets it right to him, and easy touchdown for Maine West.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that Coach Pistorio saw that coming. I think, normally with a deep down and distance situation, you normally like to have a cover 3 defense there to cover the middle deep half of the field, but they were unable to do so, and that really cost them a nice throw by the quarterback of Maine West, finding the seam down the middle of the field, and that gives Maine West another score to make it 42-0.
Yep, with Maine West as aggressive as they are, not too surprised to see the Warriors going deep right there, but it doesn't seem like the defense was completely adapted for that.
Well, so while we take a break in the action, Chris, would you like to give any shout-outs to anyone?
Sure. Shout out to everybody down there on the field working the cameras and getting a nice presentation up here. Everybody working in the up in the booth with the tech. Really good job. Always a great presentation here with Viking Media, and yeah, glad to be up here.
What about the coach?
Of course. Coach Z, the new Hall of Fame inductee for the Coaches Hall of Fame here at Niles North. Same with Coach Olson. Been very blessed to have the opportunity to work with both of them in PE and baseball. So congratulations to both of them.
All right. 2 Hall of Fame inductees here at the Niles North Athletic Department. We're very glad to have them inducted. Well-deserved honors for those 2 men. So a turn there will set the Niles North offense up at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10.
Yeah, Niles North hoping to get something big out of this. I think that they're either going to make the switch here to play a little bit more of a aggressive, less conservative offense, or they're going to stick with their guns for the rest of the game and see how it works. And right now is the opportunity of a lifetime to change things up and see how it works for about a quarter and a half.
And a handoff there goes nowhere. Once again, the battle in the trenches. Maine West has been dominating that area. Niles North unable to get anything going in the running game except for a few nice quarterback keepers by Chris Bland. But other than that, nothing.
Yeah, they're reading every run play that they're initiating, Maine West is. And after seeing that, I don't see why you wouldn't want to go to the air right now. Unless you're really trying to work your running backs, I think it's time to at least try and get some points on the board.
Yeah, if I were to run the ball, I'd like to see a few counter plays on Niles North's part. You know, try to confuse this defense a bit. You know, start one way, go the other way. Hopefully that would potentially get Niles North something going in the running game.
Yeah, Maine West defense has had their number all day, so you'd think that some trickery would be used to at least try and change some things up, maybe a little twist of fate, but it hasn't been used to Niles North's potential advantage so far.
Bland looking to the sidelines for the play call. We got 4 wide receivers for Niles North on the field. Bland takes the low snap, faces pressure, but throws deep, and it's caught! Oh, it's dropped! Incompletion. Nearly caught that time. But if you're Chris Bland, you got to be kicking yourself. I mean, that was a great opportunity, and he had pressure in his face, but the receiver unable to make the catch on that play.
I mean, that's a beautiful throw, and especially with pressure right on you, you don't get too many perfect opportunities to make that great of a throw too often, especially in high school football. So, yeah, you got to be a little bit disappointed if you're Chris Bland.
Yeah, just under 5 minutes left, and Niles North still unable to put any points on the board. Well, you know, this year they started off rather nicely, especially with that blowout win against Niles West, but the trajectory has gone downhill for Niles North.
Yeah, it looks like they don't have the energy that they started with. At the beginning of the season, they seemed a lot more enthusiastic, a lot more in your face, upbeat, very out there. Now they seem a little bit more mellowed. And obviously that can have its advantages, but it seems like the disadvantages of that have definitely been weighing down, especially on that Niles North defense.
Yeah, you know, there's 2 types of mellow, I feel like. One is that mellow that you're still confident, but it keeps you from being cocky, you know. But the other one is, you know, kind of a more discouraged mellow that Niles North's experiencing right now. I think that's what's been going on with this team, especially being down 42-0. I feel like the morale and confidence has just been gone.
Right. And, I mean, the most important thing in sports is, or one of at least, is having a short memory.
Yeah.
And I feel like after you get blown out, obviously your confidence shouldn't be high, isn't going to be high. But you kind of have to look past that and look at your previous successes and think about what you can do right and what you have done right, and then go to that.
Truer words have never been spoken. And a flag out on the field after that run play. We'll check the official call. It's a holding penalty on the offense. And that'll backtrack this Warriors offense, which has been humming for the entirety of this ball game. And also, I'd like to point out, penalties haven't seemed to bother this offense, at least in a sense. They haven't been fazed by penalties in a bit. Remember that second and 30 situation where it looked like Niles North has got this one in the bag. They're going to force Maine West to punt, but Maine West ends up throwing that deep ball to the middle of the field for a touchdown.
Yeah, they have not been phased at all by the penalties, and they've seen a solid amount of them, both on offense and a few on defense. But their attack, just play style has completely allowed them to just ignore that.
Oh, and a double reverse there for Maine West. And the safety there, missing the tackle, and he's finally pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, you'd like to see something like that from Niles North, as a great fake handoff, and then looks like nobody saw the other receiver coming on the other side of the field, and they were just sold on that. And that was an enormous gain for Maine West, and that's, again, those broken tackles and just avoiding the Niles North defense has been the story of this Maine West offense.
Jordan Jackson, defensive lineman and running back, able to chase him down to make the stop. But that doesn't come with a price. That comes with a price, as Maine West is now threatening ball on the 22-yard line of Niles North.
Yeah, and if you're Niles North, you're just kind of wondering what they're going to pull off out of their sleeve next after seeing all these pretty crazy plays.
Throws to the middle of the field. Oh, and a nice grab. A sweet grab there. And a touchdown is ruled on the field. Touchdown.
Well, if you're Niles North, you're just scratching your head and wondering that this game has not been it's been nowhere near perfect for Niles North, and
well, it's been the opposite for the other side.
Yes, it has been. They've had luck strike them in about every way possible, and right there, I mean,
they got the Midas touch.
Yep. You see pressure. You see, everything's working. Then you see the quarterback make a seemingly overthrow while he's on the run. You're thinking, okay, good, we have a stop right here. And then you see the receiver somehow tap that back into his hands and then bobble it and then get his foot down and secure the ball.
Yeah.
And then ref's hands go up and you're just in complete confusion.
Yeah. And this drive, pretty much a display of what Maine West has been able to do this entire season. They're a really good running team, as they've shown on that reverse play with that trickery against Niles North defense. But promptly after, they're able to. They've shown that they are able to at least throw the ball downfield, and touchdown there for Maine West. And not to mention they're 78th in the state, so not that bad, not too shabby.
Yeah,
really.
not too bad at all. And just kind of with this game in general, if I'm gonna look at one drive to summarize this entire game so far. I mean, that's the drive right there. They're just leaving Niles North's defense figuratively speechless.
Yeah,
and just completely out of it on the field.
Also, if you were to look at Maine West, I like how you said that it's the embodiment pretty much of this entire ball game, because if you can remember, Maine West was tagged with a holding penalty earlier in that drive. They were able to come back from adversity, and that time the Warriors were able to battle back from an adverse situation, and they were able to score there. Thought he was down initially, but able to bounce out. Didn't get too much after that though, but still a good return. They'll place it at the 41-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, and again, you talk about one of the pros, the big pros of this Niles North team is their special teams. They're pretty much always getting very good returns and very good field position, as we see right here with the ball on their own 41. To get this offense rolling, but I think they're going to need to start with some big plays, give themselves some room to work here, and hopefully they can get some points on the board right here, if nothing else.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bottom of my screen right now as they run it that way. And a pretty nice gain. Shakes a tackle. And the students who have stuck throughout this entire lopsided ball game, you can hear some cheers from them too.
Yeah, you like to see something, a little bit of a change right there. Nice play, good blocks right there.
Yeah.
Allowed him to get downfield, and really great opportunity to capitalize right here for the Viking offense.
And so that big run will bring about the conclusion of the 3rd quarter. We'll start the 4th quarter in a few moments. The score is not pretty for the Vikings. If you're watching this broadcast, 49-0 the score. Maine West leading Niles North by 7 touchdowns. We'll be right back after this short break. Pulled pork sandwiches now for $1.50.
Well, talk about a highlight of the game.
Yeah, at the concession stand. Trying to ease the pain here a little bit as we get set to start the 4th quarter. All right, so a 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, they ran the same play again pretty much, and they still got an okay result, but
yeah, Maine West was over it.
I don't think they're gonna get double the success. So let's see what they do here on the 2nd and 4, very near to the red zone.
You know, I'd like to throw it to if you look at the bottom of the screen to the outside there. Instead, they throw it to a swing pass there, incomplete. You know, at the bottom of the screen, I saw some separation between the defensive back and the wide receiver there, so that looked like a good read to me, but unable to get that ball there. Jalen Butler is at the bottom of your screen, and I don't know. I like to throw him a few balls, you know, use his height.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there was a lot of pressure on that play, and they had to go to that little outlet.
Once again, the battle in the
screen.
trenches.
Yep, they're getting back there, and can't do much when you get that kind of pressure.
Bland, though, stands tall and makes a nice throw, and he spins away! Touchdown! It looks like Chris Harris.
Unbelievable.
Chris Harris. He has shown up time and time again for this Vikings team, providing great highlights on our broadcast, and he comes up with a nice score here.
Well, this will be one of the first times we'll be able to see some video game-like maneuvers by the Viking offense. And right there, Harris just dekes and spins and just completely just leaving Maine West without a touch on him pretty much. And unbelievable sequence right there by Harris.
Yeah, although it's a blowout, the Vikings offense still providing us with some entertainment. Oh, and that's going to be incomplete. They say his foot was out of bounds. Remember, in high school, you only need 1 foot at least to be ruled a catch. That time, both feet were not in, or at least both feet were out of bounds. So That's an incompletion right there. The score remains 6-49. Warriors lead the Vikings.
Yeah, unfortunately, right there, the receiver was set up for a little bit more of a just a normal catch instead of trying to drag his feet through and catch maybe over his shoulder. But I mean, if you're the Vikings, you're happy to see some points on the board and a nice little electric play by Harris.
And how would you rate this performance? Like, if you were to compare this one against the one in Buffalo Grove?
I mean, I felt like the Buffalo Grove game had a little bit more spirit from the Vikings, but
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the score says a lot about in each game about what really happened. I think that they need a little bit more of a mentality similar to what they had against Niles West, where they just felt like even if they might think that they have like something that might not be perfect for them situationally, that they're gonna get through it and that they're gonna come up scoring, they're gonna come up winning, and that's the kind of mentality that you really like to see.
And as we talked about earlier, this team's trajectory has been trending down for the past few games, and at least that score will provide somewhat of a morale boost, as the returner kind of muffed it there, but he's able to recover it.
Yep.
And that'll bring up a new Maine West drive at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and for Niles North, a stop would mean the world to them.
Yeah.
Anything to keep them off the board would be very nice right here, and I mean, you just gotta hope.
All right, so Maine West offense will head back out onto the field with 9:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10. Shotgun formation for Maine West. High snap. Quarterback has to jump for it. Number 23 with a run.
Yeah, I'm surprised he got through right there. It looked like he was going to get stuffed up, but I guess he found a little bit of a hole, and he took it for more than you'd think he would have.
All right, clock ticking. Maine West, all they're going to do is just milk out the clock and take this one home.
Yeah, that's what you kind of expected from them in the fourth quarter. And it seems like, yeah, they're going to, oh, never mind. They go with a little bit of a pass right there, but I would be thinking that they'd at least be just probably running and milking the clock like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been unpredictable all day. You never know.
Yeah. And it looks like they have their second stringers in there. The original quarterback, number 7, is not on the field of play. Number 23 instead is handling the quarterback duties.
Yeah, for Maine West, it's a good time to bring in their second strings or their third strings. Get them some playing time, get them some experience, especially if they're younger, and see what they can do.
And he's going to be gobbled up by the defensive line. One of the only times this defensive line has showed up to play. As he gets brought down, that'll bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, that's the first one in a while that we've been able to see, and I'm assuming they're gonna go ahead and punt it, and it looks like they will. So I would be very happy if I'm Niles North defense.
At least they got a stop in this ball game. Well, it's still 6-49 remaining with 7:23 left to go. Well, in a closer game, 7 minutes would seem like a lot, but the window of time has definitely been closing for Niles North.
Yeah, it looks like they're just trying to make this game a little bit prettier for them at this point.
Trying to pad up the stats a bit. for Niles North as he takes the fair catch, but a penalty there that'll be fair catch interference. You know, although you didn't really see much movement there, they're still going to tag him for the penalty.
Yeah, I don't think Maine West is
Yeah.
too worried about this penalty, especially at this point in the game with the score and the clock running. So I wouldn't be too worried about that penalty if I'm Maine West.
Yeah, a little love tap there. Force the penalty marker to come out. And that'll advance the ball up to the 50-yard line. Hey, what do you know? 1st and 10 with some great field position for the offense.
And that has been, it seems like it's what it's been most of the second half. They've had some solid field position on pretty much every drive. Let's just see if they can capitalize 2 times in a row.
They're going to run the ball, and they finally have some success. And he's dragged down on the play. That is Millen Pryor, the running back, with a nice gain of 7.
Yeah, nice little gain right there. You can't complain too much as the Niles North offense. I would like to see a little bit more, and I'll say it again, a little bit more trickery or something,
Yeah.
a little bit more adventurous of a play call. But
Some nice blocking there.
yeah, definitely some nice blocking there. But you kind of want to see something to at least make this deficit a little bit more, not necessarily manageable, but a little bit less ugly for Niles North.
Yeah, 5:05 remaining in the 4th quarter. Time ticking down. And we'll see if Niles North can get another score here. They're threatening in the 39-yard line. 1st and 10. That's going to be a swing pass to the outside of the screen, rather. And cornerback was all over that one. Incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, he felt that pressure, and he must have thought it was a freight train because he just dropped that ball and braced for impact right there.
Yeah, as a receiver, normally if that was a deep throw, you try your best to, hold on to that, but, it was just a little swing pass. I don't think it was really worth it. So that dropped pass will bring up a 2nd down. And a nice run there. Jackson trying to tiptoe inbounds, but he's forced out. And that'll bring up a 1st and 10.
Yeah, you like to see a little bit of a nice drive right here with the offense. I wouldn't be upset to. I'm not personally a huge fan of what they're doing right here with the big runs, but if they're gonna keep these results going, then I don't see why you wouldn't want to keep up the runs, which they have been this drive. So let's see if they continue to do that as they get closer, or if they go a little bit more pass heavy right here.
Bland with the clap, and he hands it off quickly. And a nice awareness there. And Jordan Jackson with the speed. Even though he's a big guy, he still has that speed and athletic burst. And he traverses through the Warriors' defense for the score.
Yeah, Jordan's always been one of the fastest around. And right there, he's showing that speed and strength and agility, being able to really stay on his feet and keep going, and gets another touchdown right there. Again, they went with the run again. You're glad to see another Niles North touchdown.
Yeah, Niles North trying to salvage this ball game as they head out for a 2-point conversion to make it a 14-49 game. Still ugly, but would like to see the score more prettier. As the snap is taken, Bland looks to throw, and he's tripped up. The receiver, incomplete. That is Jalen Butler he's the intended receiver, and that is incomplete.
Yeah, well, even though they didn't get their 2-point conversion right there, that 12 is a lot prettier than that 6 on the scoreboard and overall. So it's good to see that the Vikings are at least getting some points out there, and putting a little bit of a cut in this gap.
All right, that'll make it 49-12. That touchdown there, a nice run, long run by Jordan Jackson. With 3:19 remaining in the fourth, as the Vikings will get set to kick it off.
Yeah, and I'm assuming Maine West will probably try and run out the clock right here on this drive if they don't get any major gains or if they don't get a huge stop. It should be completely possible for them to probably end this game on this drive. But we will see what happens in these following plays.
Yeah, we'll see if they try to kick the onside kick here to get the ball back. Maine West looks like they're not expecting the onside kick. They've got their return team back. Here's a kick. And a pooch kick. And it's dropped. And recovered by the Vikings. How about that? A nice return, or excuse me, a recovery for Niles North. And I'll set the ball back at the Maine West around the 30-yard line.
Well, I don't think that Niles North will really be able to come back at this point, but at least they get another opportunity. And again, maybe they get up to 20 on this drive. If they can get up to 20 points, that doesn't look as terribly harsh of a deficit as it was before.
Yeah, with 2:35 remaining in the fourth, garbage time right now. 12-49 your score. As Bland takes a snap, fumbles it, and he recovers it back before Maine West is able to fall on it.
Yeah, smart by Bland right there. Snap was bounced to him pretty much, and he just dropped down and laid on it, and he wasn't going to be able to do much with it either way if he had tried to scramble away and get a throw off. So, smart move, no risk even at this kind of situation.
Well, Maine West is all over that. You can see the linebacker actually timed that snap count pretty well.
Yeah, that was a perfect read by the linebacker as he was able to get some immediate pressure. A little hesitation by Jackson kept him from making the big play in the backfield, but they were still right on that and didn't give Niles North much of an opportunity to make anything of that.
So looking ahead, we'd like to remind you to tune into our broadcast. It's the homecoming game on October the 18th as Niles North gets set to take on Maine East. Oh, a nice catch there inside the 5-yard line, but there's a penalty, a flag. It looks like a pass interference call that will be declined, and that'll set the ball up at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, very nice catch there as he was able to turn around and get his arms over to the outside where the throw was and reel that in, especially on a little bit of a lower throw to him. Very impressive concentration right there. And another touchdown.
All right, a touchdown, hey. Touchdown, Vikings.
Well, these last few minutes have been pretty prosperous for this Vikings offense, as
most definitely
they've been able to put some decent points on the board. They might be able to break the 20 mark right here.
Yeah.
Which again, that definitely makes this game a little bit closer than it was previously. And a very good display this would be right here if they could get 2.
All right, 2-point conversion at hand for the Vikings. It's a draw play, and the halfback delay will get them the 2 points. That'll put them at the 20 mark. 20-49 your score. The Warriors lead the Vikings.
Well, it's nice to see that the Vikings have given their fans that were able to stay this long some decent stuff to cheer about.
Yeah.
20 points on the board is nothing to sneeze at, and not too shabby of a fourth quarter offensive performance by Niles North.
Yeah, with 30 seconds left, and since it's the end of the game, I'd like to give another shout out to all my family friends who are watching this tonight, who have tuned in. I got family at home in Skokie, some in Chicago, also some in Romeoville, which is like 1 hour away. So we got some nice viewership there, and we'd like to thank you for tuning in, especially the Canizado family, the Delimios family, and the De Vera family. Thank you guys for tuning into this ball game. All right, so 30 seconds left as the teams get set to return this kick. Maine West to return, and Niles North to kick it off.
Yeah, and if you're a Niles North fan at all, you'd love to see what happened last time again. Maybe another score on the board would be very cool. Show that offense off a little bit more.
Yeah, this time it's handled well by Maine West. Spinning, and he's finally put down by the Niles North defense. A scrum. Took more than one guy to bring him down. Ball will be placed at around the 35-yard line.
Yeah, well, Niles North won't get that prime opportunity for one last chance for the score, and the clock will run down as the game is over.
Yeah. All right, and that'll end the game. That's the end of the fourth quarter, and no overtime included. Your score, Maine West 49, Niles North 20. The visiting team, the Warriors, come into Chuck Pa Stadium and trample and trounce the Niles North Vikings. Well, we thank all the viewers for watching this broadcast. It's been a pleasure to enjoy this chilly Friday night with you. And thank you, Chris, for joining me tonight. And for Chris Kinseriora, I'm Josh De Vera, and this is Viking Media.